aside for Ramadan. We spend £1,000 for Ramadan because we eat more in Ramadan, right? You see, so all of this is in our mind, and Shaitan is whispering in our hearts. The Shaitan is going into the hearts. He's, of course, Ramadan. This is the month I accepted Islam. Why? Because Shaitan. Good news. He's locked up. You see? But he's whispering in our hearts to say, no need for dawah. Don't worry. Be chill. Yeah, bro. Don't worry about it. You're from Malaysia. You see? Now all of these things are going on in your mind and the heart of the believer all the time. And there's of course it's a test. Dunya. Sijnu mu'min. It's a prison for the believer. It shouldn't be that you've got everything. A jannat of kafir. It's the paradise of the one who disbelieves. Which category are you in? Which category do you belong to, brothers and sisters? Think about it. Don't answer me. Answer yourself before you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A certainty of a surety. Kullu nafsin dha'iqata al-maut. That every soul, that everything will taste death. The sun is a middle-aged star, is going to taste death. When it tastes death, all of us taste death. Every tree, every fish, every animal, every human, every star is going to taste the death. And then your sins challenge you. Because you make the sin and you say, how can I give dawah? I'm sinful. And Shaitan tells you that as well. Yeah, remember what you did yesterday, man? How can you go around telling that woman over there, you're worse than her? Get behind me, Shaitan's telling you, get behind me. You see? The challenges of dawah. Save yourself, brother. Save yourself. Don't worry about them. You want to go to paradise, don't you? Stay away from them. Don't talk to them. It'll cause you fitna. You see? All of us are in this we're constantly being fed these messages from Shaitan, from the nafsi, from the self, the nafs, from the kareem, trying to let you get to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Put your hands up if you love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What did he do? If he didn't do sallallahu alayhi wa sallam what he did, none of us would be in the room today. You see? If he didn't, like Jamshed had mentioned, go to Taif and be pelted and have patience upon that, be pelted with the stones of the little ruffians, the street urchins. Who would the people be like? What would they be like in Taif? Brother, he told me he was there. One brother from Khaliji brother, he showed me the pictures of Taif. He said, very mountainous, it's a bit like Kashmir. The brother was mentioning Kashmir, right? One of the brothers was telling me about Kashmir. It's a lovely place, beautiful place. Wallahi, it's mountainous though. The people there are all Muslims. Because of the righteous actions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are just around the corner from this place. To further contextualize where we are in Dubai. The home of Islam. Many of the people live in. Here, the Khaliji brothers living here are direct related people to the companions. You see? SubhanAllah. And of course, the people, they say, but I don't have knowledge. What do you mean you don't have knowledge? You mean you don't pray? Oh, okay, I understand. If you're not praying, then that's fine. Well, it's not fine. Forgive me. As a soundbite for the people collecting all the quotes that Yusuf Chambers has said and make takfir of him. But you know, subhanAllah. What did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? Even if it's one ayah, obligation, tell another person. So what do we have? Like the Jamshed had mentioned, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Every single person in the room, they understand this. If you don't know any other verses, why are you not learning? Because it's an ilm. Ilm al-nafiya. Ilm al-nafiya. Knowledge which is beneficial is an incumbent upon you and everyone in your family that they should be learning this. This is a minimum. A minimum. If you don't say, if you say, I don't have enough knowledge. There are people in Leicester, where I live, for 30 years they've been learning and they never gave da'wah because they said we don't know enough, first we start with ourselves. What did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What did the companions do? Did they wait for 30 years? Wallahi, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was giving da'wah to Khadija, day 1, day 2, day 3, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. He was passing the message on sallallahu alayhi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him as a righteous companion. Ameen. And such was the nature of the da'wah, that some of the people would go to the battlefields after taking shahada and die with no knowledge. You have no excuses. I have no excuses. None of us do. SubhanAllah. Now if one looks, and it's not very pleasurable to do so, by the way, if one looks away from the Christian da'wah, for example, if one puts the term in with, because there's this very famous scholar called Sheikh Google. I'm sure you all know him. Yes? And when you put something in with Sheikh Google, you apply for the fatwa. You see? So you apply for the answer to your fiqh question, and you say, for example, you write down just Muslim in with Sheikh Google. You say Muslim. And then Sheikh Google will give you a list of all the answers. Top 10 on Google. So I want you to do that tonight. Just in case you're thinking of not coming back tomorrow, I want you to do that if it's the last thing you do. Put Muslim in. Who's got Wi-Fi? Put it in google.com. Not United Arab Emirates. Because there's some filtering, you see. But put it in the world's Sheikh al-Islam, Ibn Google. Yes? Put it in, and you will find the answers. It will be shocking. You put Muslim in. You put Islam in. You put the Quran in. You put Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in. And what are the answers you will get? You will get the answers not from Muslims. The BBC will be there. Good old B, British Broadcasting Company. See? Who's giving da'wah? Muslims? Then you'll have CNN and Fox News. Oh, very good. What? Fox News? Why are they talking about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Why are they why are they telling people about the Quran? Why are they speaking about al-Islam, my faith, and when I am not? You see? In fact, in the searches that I've done, I found that most of the responses in the top 10, nay, top 20, are usually of the following category. Media outlets that have no basis for talking about Islam at all. Some researchers, Orientalist researchers, some people of Shia, Qadianis. Oh yes, Qadianis are up there, by the way. Yes, they're there in the top 10, guys. Good news for you, isn't it? They're giving dawah, aren't they? No. Because they say that somebody else came after the Prophet Muhammad. Oh, then there's Answering Islam. Oh, very popular site for dawah. Forgive my sarcasm, because I'm British. See? But the reality in this paradigm we call the World Wide Web is not very good for Muslims. And whose fault is it? Is it the BBC? No. Is this Fox? CNN? Is it even Sheikh Google that got the answers wrong? You'll reward him once. You see what I'm saying? No! It's not their fault. In fact, it's our fault. So when you point the finger and you say it's his fault, you see, you know that. The old thing is 3 fingers pointing back. Blame yourself. You're not good enough for dawah. You don't have knowledge. Shaitan told you don't do it. Your wife told you don't do it. Your children say, I need you to go to football and don't go to the dawah, uncle, daddy. At least they call you daddy. These days they don't call you daddy, they call you something else. That man who pays the bills. That's what he's like. That's what he's like living in the West. The West is the best. So you've got the atheist reality, you've got the Google reality, which is not reality. Okay. And the worst thing, you see, can you imagine, you know, is there any business people, businessmen or women, sorry, women, any people who do business here in Dubai? No? No business people, right? Yes, there's 1 or 2. I can see them. So imagine that you know, for example, you own a restaurant. You own a restaurant and you're selling curries. You see, curries are very popular. In fact, #1 dish in Britain today, chicken tikka masala. That's true. It's not fish and chips anymore. #1 dish, chicken tikka masala. So what happens? You're selling chicken tikka masala, you're the only place in Dubai. Then another guy, he gets the idea, he gets the recipe from one of your workers because you're not paying him properly, and he goes around the back door and he sells the recipe for, 1,000 dirham. Very silly thing to do indeed. Sell it for a lot more than that. But, so he sells it to this, now this guy becomes your competitor. Now what you do is you give your business to the competitor and you say, run it for a couple of months for me, will you? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes. Would anyone do that? Put your hands up if you do that. Why? Why wouldn't you do it? You're doing it with the deen. You're doing it with Islam. There's every Tom, Dick and Harry is presenting Islam apart from us. So why don't you do it? You see? So the best product made for mankind and Islam. You do this. You discard it. It took me 11 years of search, of reading, of traveling, of banging my head against a brick wall, couldn't find one Muslim. I didn't even know Islam was a faith. The only time I knew about Islam in that period was I heard a song on Radio 1. Ramadan ding dong, Ramadan ding dong. I said, what's this, Ramadan? I heard that, something to do with Muslims. The people that we visited in Mexico that think that Islam is slam dancing. Yo, slam, is it a football team? There are also people who embrace Islam by reading in Spanish the Encyclopedia Britannica, the section on Islam. They take Shahada with no Muslims. And you go to the house, one of my friends, Omar Weston, he went to the house, he gave them tea, he said, how did you accept Islam? He said, from this book here. It's not the Quran, it's Encyclopedia Britannica. And then on their house, they constructed a musalla, a small little place for prayer, which had more dignity, more honor, more respect, more izzah than the house itself. We take Islam for granted. We don't love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You love yourself. You love your dunya. You love your job. You love your business. You love your wife. Good. You love your husband. You love your children more than you love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because if you love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you would be part of this beautiful call away from kufr and shirk to the oneness, to tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah? Surah Al-Fusilat. وَمِنْ أَحْسَنَ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا اللَّهَ. Who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah? Allah is asking the question. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you the question, like He asks in Al-Asr. When He swears by time, He's asking you the question. When He asks the question, He's going to give you the answer straight away without the answer coming. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. And He does the righteous actions. And He declares, I am a Muslim. And out of them arise a group calling to the good, forbidding the evil. Quran. Where is the group? To protect the brothers and sisters from leaving the deen. To protect them from the erroneous answers of Shaygu